Hello, Patriots colony, and welcome to Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong with me. I'm Stan Rockwell. We're going to start off by getting our posture, balance, and breathing. So get your feet as parallel as you can get them. And remember, if any of this stuff causes you any twinge or any issues, just back off until you can smile. Never fully compress the joint, never fully extend the joint. Keep your knees lined up with your toes. If you're standing like this, you keep your knees behind your toes. You never extend beyond that. And remember the 70% rule. Only 70% of whatever you're capable of at this moment, including the movements and the breathing. You don't have to try to inhale. We work on breathing. So your foundation is going to be a line you visualize around the outsides of your feet. And everything inside that rectangle is going to be your foundation, and we want to stay centered over that. You start to pay attention to how the bottoms of your feet feel against the floor. You want them to be equally balanced, left, right, front, and back. You can move around a little bit, just kind of flowing from one side to the other, or the front to the back, so you can settle down right in the middle. You want to have yourself really firmly grounded so you can visualize energetic connections coming from those bubbling wells attaching you to the earth, or a rooting metaphor or rooting visualization. Roots growing from the ball of the foot at the base of the big toe, ball of the foot at the base of the little toe, center of the heel, just rooting down deeply into the earth, getting you firmly connected. Once you're grounded to the earth, you want to have yourself connected to the heavens, so you have another acupressure point. It's called the Ba Wei, or the crown chakra. It's at the crown of your head. You can have an energetic connection there, pulling you straight up, making you taller, stacking your vertebrae on top of each other, causing the tops of your hips to become parallel to the floor, your tailbone to drop down a little bit, your hips to move back a little bit, so that your stomach and your lower back are flattened out. Again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, just relax into whatever feels best for you. Tops of your shoulders are parallel to the floor. Imaginary line across your eyes and ears is parallel to the floor. And as that line pulls you upwards, it lifts the back of your head, tucks your chin in a little bit, and might move your head back just a bit over your shoulders, so your head's nice and balanced on your shoulders, so that if you were to drop a line with a weight on the end of it like a pendulum, it would drop straight down through the center of your body, through the perineum, and would hit the floor right in the middle of your foundation, roughly equally distant, anywhere between your ankles to those bubbling wells, depending on how you're built. What you're aiming for is to be in harmony with gravity, so you're not leaning in any direction, you're just nice and centered. At that point, you focus on your breathing. You can breathe more efficiently when you're nice and balanced. And we want to breathe down to our abdomen. You're going to breathe in through the nose as best you can. Start to filter the air, add some humidity to it. Warm it up a little bit before it hits the lungs. So you pull your diaphragm down so you feel an expansion all the way around, about hip level. And on the exhale, you pull the pelvic floor up to move as much air out as you can. Make the inhale last just a few seconds longer. Make the exhale last just a few seconds longer than the inhale, to engage the relaxation response. And if you want, you touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth. In Chinese medicine, that engages the governing vessel and the conception vessel, a couple of energy channels in your body. But it also disengages the muscles in your jaw when you press your tongue there just right, so you can't clench your teeth. So just breathe at your own pace, making the exhale last, again, a second or two or three longer than the inhale. As you breathe, if you feel any tension or tightness across the top of your head, your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your jaw, just breathe into it and let it soften. Any tightness around your mouth, your neck, your shoulders, down your arms, your wrists, hands and fingers, just let it soften. Your chest, your stomach, your back. Any tightness anywhere, any tension, just let it soften. Down your hips, your legs, your feet, your ankles, any tightness anywhere, any tension, just let it soften. As you breathe out, you can breathe out through your nose or your mouth. If you want to breathe out through your mouth, you can sigh. And with that sound, you let whatever tightness is inside, whatever tension is inside, just flow out and away from you. And you just follow me. Arms come up. Remember that principle song, your arms stretch out, extend outwards, but again, you keep some bend in your elbows. As you press back, you push your head back just a little bit to feel some stretch in your neck. You turn your hands, you press out. As your hands come down, you tuck your chin just a bit. It's an inhale and an exhale. And an inhale and an exhale. One more. To the center, let your arms float up. One hand drops down, the other arm folds over, keeping your palm and your forehead lined up and your shoulder nice and relaxed. 70% of your range of motion. Turn your head to the side of the arm that's up. As you come back to the center, trade places with the hands and to the other side. It's an inhale to the center, and exhale out to the side. Hands come back down. Turn your head to one side, again 70% of your range, then just drop your chin, let it roll across the bottom back up to that center line and then go straight across. It's an exhale and an inhale. And then just reverse. And for shoulders, first we'll do shoulder rolls towards the front. And remember, if you have issues with rotator cuffs, rotate your arms so your palms face behind you and do the rolls by making circles with your elbows. And just begin. And reverse. And inhale up and exhale down like you're balancing everything out. Bring your arms up with your palms facing, then bring your fingers straight up. Bring your hands in, your forearms, palms touch. If that causes you issues with your shoulders, just let your elbows relax out. But it's an inhale to open the upper chest and exhale to open the upper back. And then just pause, let your arms extend and come back towards you. Again, keep softness in the elbow. Inhale towards you, exhale away. When your fingers are pointed straight up, just let your hands tilt towards and away from you. And towards and away from each other. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Bring your hands together and clasp your hands, and then again circles. First one way, and the other way. And then holding a ball, you make circles. But you keep your palms facing when you're doing this. Bring your hands about waist high on the inhale. Just let all the bones in your hand, all the joints, your wrists and fingers, hands expand outwards. On the exhale, they just relax back. So inhale and exhale. And just kind of shake your hands, flex them out a little bit. Work on the back a little bit. Hold the ball. The hand that's underneath with the palm up is going to turn outwards and start to press up with the palm up, and the upper hand's going to press down. So an inhale to the center and an exhale out. You come back to the center. Got this hand on top. And I'm going to rotate on that center axis till the hands line up with the hip on that side, but I'm only going to move from the hips up. So rotate to the side, just to feel some stretch in your back. Turn the hands around, keeping the palms facing. We come back to the other side. Also massaging internal organs when you're doing this. Back to the center. Onto the hips, hands go out to the one side, either side, it doesn't matter. Shift your weight into that side. It goes out and back. And you don't have to step very far, you just want to feel some movement in your hip. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. Back to the center, palms down. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Shift all your weight into one foot. So the other foot's empty. There's no weight in it at all. Hands go back just a little bit to counterbalance. Foot goes forward, heel touches. Hands come back to the center. If you need to rebalance, just touch your forefoot down. Foot goes back, arms go forward, forefoot touches, but your body stays perpendicular over your weighted leg. And just synchronize your breathing however feels best for you. Just remember to breathe through your abdomen. And the same thing on the other side. And then we come to that posture that's just like the beginning of sun style that we've been practicing. A little space between your heels, toes pointed towards the corner, fists at your hips in this case though. And you shift your weight into one side, you rotate on that forefoot and you step up even with where your toes were. Again, that's like the beginning of the sun style. And you punch with the opposite arm to counterbalance. Come back. It's an exhale and an inhale. And then second for the knees starts out the same. This time you step up, you plant that foot. Notice there's some space between your heels. And you get that nice stretch as you punch with the other side. Keep your knee and the leg in the front behind your toes though. You don't extend your knee beyond your toes. Puts too much pressure on your knees. It's an exhale and an inhale. Sun style and yang style, you pretty much keep yourself perpendicular to the floor, your head, your body. Let's do one more. And you come back with your feet shoulder width apart. Shift your weight into one side and do heel and toe. Same thing on the other side. Shift your weight over, outside and inside the foot touches close to the same spot as you can. So you feel that lateral motion in your ankle. And then being very kind to your knees, hips, and ankles, shift your weight over and first make circles in one direction. And then in the other direction. Same thing other side. And back to the center. Going to do some weight shifts from one side to the other to stay practiced being perpendicular as we move from side to side. And if you want, you can visualize that warm, salty water flowing from one side of your body to the other. So when all my weight's on this side, this leg's empty. This one is filled, down to the tips of the toes. When I shift my weight to the other side, you visualize all that cleansing water that's cleaning every cell coming up and then down to the other side. And stagnant water, or the polluted water, just goes after that bubbling well into the earth, and then you bring up clean, cleansing water the other side. And this is called pouring. You're pouring water from one side to the other. And then just start to turn at the hips a little bit and let your arms just totally relax so they can swing from one side to the other. The arm goes behind you, the wrist or the back of your hand may gently tap on the buttock just inside the hip. You can close your eyes and let your head move from side to side with your shoulders and just visualize yourself in a place where you feel very calm, safe, and secure. If that causes you to feel a little dizzy, if you close your eyes, just keep your eyes open and look straight ahead at something that's not moving. But you can still do the visualization. And for drumming, first fingertips, again gently tap on that little indentation just inside the shoulder. And then at the base of the rib cage, inguinal crease or your quad just inside the hip. And then lower down chin, a couple or three finger widths below your belly button. And then back to the swing. And just come back to center, hold a really large ball. Upper hand keeps your head fairly still, lower hand moves your hip out. So you loosen up the lower back a little bit, and again be gentle with yourself. Just come back to center, holding the ball. And again, we'll sort of turn it as we do. We'll go to the side. So it's like you're swaying from one side to the other. Just notice how the bottoms of your feet feel as you shift your weight from side to side. A big part of balance is being in touch with how you connect it to the floor, how you connect it to the earth. Also, just having the notion of where you are in space and keeping yourself over your foundation so our head's not going beyond the outsides of our feet. We're staying grounded. Back to the center and just swaying again. When you get all your weight into one foot, just sink down into it, relax down into it, feel the heel of the other foot naturally come up Just lift your toes a little bit. You need to keep your forefoot on the floor or your hand on the chair or on a wall. It's fine. Adapt this to yourself. You don't try to adapt you to it. You're just working on staying within the principles of posture, balance, and breathing. And those are things you can practice anytime, anywhere. It can become a way of life. Shift your weight over to the other side. This time your knee floats up. Other side. This time your heel floats up. And the other side. And drops on your thigh. Other side. We're going to walk a little bit. If you don't have a lot of room where you are, you can do this in place. But first, just shift your weight over. Feel this foot really connect to the floor. The other foot just gently releases. Goes straight ahead like you're walking on railroad tracks. It comes down. It grips the floor, seals to the floor before the foot and back ever releases. And your center goes diagonally from one foot to the other. You inhale as your foot comes up, exhale as it comes down. And just reverse. If you don't want to walk backwards, just turn around and go back. We're going to do a little bit of yang style walking. Shift your weight into one foot, either foot, it doesn't matter, but the other foot is empty, so you can lift the toes and turn the foot out to 45 degrees. Shift your weight into that foot. Heel on the other foot naturally comes up. Bring it in for what's called a T-step. Your forefoot comes down somewhere near your instep. And then that foot goes straight ahead, toes straight ahead, and you shift your weight, knees are lined up with your toes, space in between your feet. Again, it's like you're walking on a railroad track. Shift your weight back. Adjust that front foot to 45 degrees. Shift your weight up. Foot comes in for a T-step, swoops out and around, comes down. And this, at the end, you're in a forward bow and arrow stance or a forward archer stance or a bow stance. Just relax there for a second, shift your weight back. So now you're in a reverse bow stance. Most of your weight's on your back leg. Front foot lifts up, comes back, and you do a T-step. You step out and back, just shift your weight back, that foot comes down to 45 degrees. You just adjust the front foot, lifting your heel up so your toes are pointed straight ahead. If you have issues with your hips so that stepping out and back is troublesome, so that you tend to step straight back, so when you come down your heels are more or less lined up, and this is the way in Beijing style it's taught, which is that kind of mixed version that the Chinese government came up with in the 50s. They have you rotate on your forefoot, so whichever feels best for you, and it may be different days. Come back to the center. For stepping side to side, we'll use the sun style wave hands like clouds, upper hand palm out, lower hand palm down. Bring your foot in and then step. 1, Remember, you're turning on that center axis from one corner to the other. This is one you can do just standing in place too. You don't have to move, but we want to practice walking some, front, back, and to the sides. And for all of these, you pick your foot completely off the ground. You don't drag it. So when all my weight's in this foot, this heel comes up, I step out. When the heel touches on that side, the heel on the other side comes up. And this is one where pouring is sometimes used. All the water's in this leg. As you shift your weight, it moves over into the other leg, so now there's none in there. Let's go back. Let's do open and close. Bring the heels in so your toes are pointed towards the corner. I'm going to try to do the sun style backwards so you can just mirror me. And then I'll turn around and we'll do it. Because I want you to be able to see the hands first. Remember, if you go to the website Williamsburg taiji.com or finding FINDING DAO.com, just look for this form on there. It's called Taiji for Arthritis or Beginner Sun Style. So it was developed for pain management. So we begin. And your left foot comes up. Single whip. And then wave hands going to your right. Open and close. Single whip. Wave hands going to your left. Open and close. Second section, first part. Brush knee push to your right. Play the lute. Step up to parry and punch. Apparently closing. Push the mountain. Open. Close. Second part, second section. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry. Punch. Apparently closing and push the mountain. Open. Close. Third section, first part, brush knee, leisurely tie coat. Open, close, that lateral single whip into lowering movement, fist under elbow, step back. Pulse monkey to the back, to the front, brush knee, leisurely tie coat, up, back, push, open, close, second part, third section, brush knee, leisurely tie coat. Open, close, lateral single whip, lowering movement, fist under elbow, step back, pulse monkey to the back, to the front. Brush knee, Leisurely tie coat. Up, back, push to the front, feet back in the V, open, close, and you finish. If you want, you can acknowledge. Turn around and hopefully keep my left and my right straight. It's a nice mental challenge when you do it backwards and then do it the way it was designed. And you can try that sometimes. With this form, you can even mix up the different sections. You can do 2 before or 3 before 2, or just to keep you mentally sharp and challenge yourself. Nice and balanced. And begin. Open, close, single whip, wave hands like clouds. Open, close, single whip, wave hands. First part of the second section, brush knee. Play the loop. Parry, parry, punch. Parry by closing. Push the mountain. Open, close. Second part, second section, brush knee. Play the loop. Parry, parry, punch. Apparently closing and carry the tiger to push the mountain to the front. Open, close. First part of the third section, brush knee. Leisurely tie coat. Open, close, lateral single whip, lowering movement, fist under elbow, step back, repulse monkey, repulse monkey, brush knee, leisurely tie coat, up, back, push. Open, close. Second part, third section, brush knee. Leisurely tie coat. Up, back, push. Open, close. Lateral single whip into lowering movement into fist under elbow. Step back, repulse monkey. Repulse monkey, brush knee, leisurely tie coat, up, back, push, back to the front, feet back in a V, open, close, hands come down. And you more or less where you started, maybe just a little bit in front of where you started. A lot of the forms are designed so you pretty much end up, if you put your heel to toe and draw a circle, you wind up somewhere within that circle. Just come up on your toes, tense everything up as you inhale. Exhale, just relax everything out. Inhale and exhale. One more. Loosen up your legs a little bit. Balance everything out. Inhale up and exhale down. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, healthy, and well. And I'll see you next time. And next time we will start doing some different Qigong exercises. We'll continue practicing Sun style. So hopefully you're really getting it down, so that at some point we can maybe try some Yang style too. But we want to really get this one down first and play with different Qigong forms. So see you soon. Bye-bye.